Dominating all the papers this morning is this devastating news that came out yesterday that as the remains of a body has been found in the area where Jay Slater last sent his message, or last known location was.
His mother is now demanding answers here because he was found very close to where he last sent his message on his phone just before the battery went. The body, of course, has yet to be formally identified. Discovered yesterday in a remote and inaccessible area near to the village of Masca in Tenerife.
Well, former British Army veteran Chris Pennington, who lives in Tenerife, has spent the last few weeks helping with that search for the missing teenager, and as you can see, joins us now. Jay's mum has said it's the news she dreaded to hear. Talk us through how you've been involved in the search, because there are many questions, not least the proximity to where, as yet formally unidentified as Jay's remains, but a body and remains have been found very close to the last known location. Talk us through that area and your hunt as part of trying to find him.
Hi, good morning. Yeah, well, there was a call from the Guardia Civil for volunteers a few weeks ago for anyone that had experience that could help them with their search. I myself went along to assist the Guardia Civil. However, the official search was called off very quickly, I believe 2 days later. I was actually in the area and using the information that we gathered. Our thought pattern was to get into the mindset of Jay, try and retrace his steps, and at each key point along that path, ask ourselves the question, what would Jay have done in that situation, to try and track him through the mountains. As you said correctly, the terrain up there is treacherous, and really that's an understatement. I would go as far as say it's absolutely deadly. The Guardia Civil have done a phenomenal job to try and search in that area and make sure that your own safety is looked after, and try and find a missing person in that terrain is a task of the highest order.
What do you mean by deadly? Is it the fact that you can't see where the drops are, you can't see where you might fall? You know, what is that jeopardy?
There's a number of challenges in that terrain. The first terrain is the vegetation is extremely high. Once you enter off the road into the vegetation, you disappear quickly.
Right.
The ground is very dry, which makes it extremely slippy. And once you come completely off the paths into the ravine, we call them barrancos here, but into the ravine, it's volcanic rock. If you slip on that rock, as I have done last Saturday, I'm bruised, cut, grazed, scraped. Because of it's almost like an amphitheatre, the landscape, and that's a heat trap. So once you're in that area, it's so easy to become dehydrated and suffer from heat exhaustion. And then as you get lower down to where the boulder alley and the cliffs are, the drops are 200-300 feet. And if you slip at that point and come off, it really is
treacherous.
Really is game over.
You said you were trying to get into his head and recreate his thought processes. What do you think he was doing up there? Was he trying to take some kind of... I mean, you can see the coast from certain vantage points in that area. Do you think he was trying to take a shortcut back to the coast?
I honestly do, Richard. When you stand on that top road, because of the elevation, you can see the coast, and it's deceiving. It actually looks closer than what it really is. The coast is actually some 10 kilometres away, and the challenges he would have had to go through to get there would have been unbearable.
But I suppose without knowing, he might have been looking for a way to get himself out of this terrible terrain, thinking the sea was there. One of the things that his mum has said, and I'm sure you've seen them as we all have, is the number of conspiracy theories about his disappearance springing up. And she has said that has not been helpful, you know, for her going through these weeks of agony and worry. And I imagine part of that is because of a lack of understanding of that area and the way that you know it.
That's absolutely true. I don't think the theories have helped at all. I think it's diverted attention and taken people away from the facts and the truth. It must have been extremely difficult for the Guardia Civil and the head of the search to block out that noise. And once the story took hold and went online, the backlash from that, the theories, I mean, I even suffered abuse myself for actually following the facts. And yeah, I mean, we were called stupid, ridiculous. You know, we don't know what we're talking about, but what we did is we just stuck to the facts the whole time and didn't deviate from that.
OK, so sticking to those facts and your intelligent theories based on them, it seems to be this. He decides not to wait for the bus back because he's going to have to wait for 2 hours. He decides to cut across country. He sees the ocean and thinks, OK, it's rough territory, but the sea's a lot closer than I think it is. He loses his footing and he falls down into a steep ravine, which is why they couldn't find him for so long.
I believe that is absolutely the truth, and I think that's what everyone will discover in the next few days. The other thing that may help Jay make that decision, which was obviously a mistake, is there's actually huts on the way down towards the ravine. So it's quite possible Jay saw the coast, thought there was some type of civilization there, and probably maybe headed for those huts, took a shortcut.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, once you take the first step off road, you start to become trapped with every step you take, and it would have been virtually impossible for Jay to make his way back, sadly.
Well, my God, it's certainly a cautionary tale. Thank you so much for your time this morning, and I'm just so sorry that that your part in the search didn't turn out for the better. But thank you for explaining things to us and dismissing these ridiculous
and giving your time to try and make a difference. So thank you very much indeed for sharing that with us.